Tony James, welcome back to Australia and welcome to Sydney on what's a rather inclement day, but we're here today to talk about retirement systems and investment around the world and also about Australia.
Well, that's great. I've admired the system here, and it's been a model that I've used in thinking about how we could make America better.
On that topic, you've obviously called out the impending retirement funding crisis in the US, and you've been fairly clear about what you think what needs to be done. Can you give us some insights as to what you think the challenges are currently in the US and how they can be addressed?
Well, we have a broken system that's a function, a little bit of a perfect storm of several factors. The US used to be a pension-driven market, but every major corporation now has moved away from pensions. They've replaced it with 401ks, but they're voluntary, so many people don't take advantage of it. And only about half of private sector employees even have access to a 401k. Meanwhile, wages have been flat, returns have been low. The great financial crisis has taken its bite out of people's savings and scared people. And the cumulative weight of all that is Americans are retiring now without near enough savings. So about 1/3 of the people retiring at the age of 65 will be in or near poverty. And if we do nothing, we will end up with more poor Americans, poor elderly Americans, than even in the Great Depression.
The key elements of the solution as you see it, what are the key elements of how we solve this problem?
Well, I think, first of all, we have to have a mandatory program. We know that people left to their own devices won't voluntarily save enough, often enough, early enough, and will invade the savings for other purposes. Fair enough, but we have to have a mandatory system. I believe that it's not, we can't politically get done for employers to fund it all, but nor can we expect people who are living paycheck to paycheck to fund it all themselves. So it's got to be a system where employers contribute and so does the employee. We underwrite the employee portion for low-wage people by redeploying a tax benefit, which really goes predominantly to the very high-income people. Nothing wrong with that, but instead of having it go just to them, we spread it evenly to both high earners and low earners. Then the important thing is those savings get pooled and invested for the long term to earn good returns, much like a pension fund or like a super fund in Australia.
You're familiar with the Australian system. You've come down here for much of the life of the system. What do you think are its strengths and how does it stack up internationally?
Well, I think on an international scheme, it's still the model. If I had to do it, I would tweak a few things about it, but the savings rates have gone up since it was founded, and I think it's quite robust now. I think you've got probably the most secure set of looming retirees of just about anywhere where there isn't a government guarantee. But it's way ahead of the United States, it's way ahead of Canada, it's way ahead of India, China, many countries. So I think it's an admirable system.